Hello, Witchers. Welcome to the School of the Bear. This is part 2 of the Blood and Wine DLC playthrough. Now, want to just let you guys know, at the beginning of this game, there's a lot of talking and things like that. I'm going to do my best to skip through it and save on time, because I don't want this video to take forever, because there is so much talking dialogue, and it's kind of annoying because I want to play through, but I also want to give you guys like an idea of what you have to do. So here we go.
Once you have finished examining the corpse, be sure to report to Anarietta.
Anarietta?
Her Grace, the Duchess. I forget myself at times. We address each other by our first names in private. Never in Pomred's presence, however. Even in such familiarity. No watering hole for traders, smugglers, boatmen. But you will find no better crayfish chowder in all Toussaint.
Beast. Killer from the north, they say.
What? With no lads brave enough?
Of course we have. But bravery's not enough against the beast.
Banquets on lives.
By my troth, could that be the musty scent of fresh pate?
I tell you, the one thing that I don't like about this DLC is how just annoying that how these guys talk are. It's really annoying.
Why do I not detect
They're just so pompous and it's just annoying.
On account of their being on crayfish. I reckon you've not heard, but all I caught was a corpse. I awoke at the crack of dawn, as I do each day, but when I looked up, I beheld a blood-red sky.
This corpse is precisely why we're here. For the man whom you've invited to join you at the table was summoned from a far-off land by her gracious magnificence. He is tasked with tracking and killing the beast.
We invited two men to join us, yet since Sir the Peyrac in temperament is more akin to hare than hound, I surmise the other is the hunter. With whom do we have the pleasure?
Name's Geralt.
A humble introduction. You've clearly not tarried long with Sir the Peyrac.
Spare us the petty insults. Geralt is a master of the witchery trade. He has questions concerning the beast's last victim.
I was the one to find the corpse. The sun had just risen when I awoke, sat straight up in my bed, looked out the window, and beheld a sky red as blood.
Ask her, please, or we shall be here till winter.
Need to examine the body. Know where they took it?
They ferried it across, then loaded it on a cart and hauled it to a cellar at Corvo Bianco to keep it cool, see?
What? Why, Corvo Bianco is Baron Grossel's estate. When he learns they've turned his cellar into a morgue, he'll set his house on them.
While you were gallivanting about the north, his vineyard was auctioned off.
Who was that? Woman who just left. Didn't see her before. Didn't notice her walk in either.
Doubtless Lilith, the innkeep's daughter. But hold, Geralt, because this is an outrage. Grossel's vineyard was auctioned off? Inconceivable.
It is no secret. The Baron had gambling debts up to his ears. It finally came time to collect. His creditors auctioned off his property. The Ducal Chancellery bought it, in fact. Rossel now bunks with his brother in Vic of Faro.
I told Rossel he'd get his comeuppance. How long can one draw on past heroics? His creditors must finally have to find that his promises meant nothing.
Such are the times. Today's knights are pale shadows of the heroes of yore.
It's true what they say. God sent the beast to punish us for straying from the old paths.
Thanks for the hospitality. Time I examined the corpse.
Corvo Bianco lies a short way from here, near the Tory grounds. Just follow the road and you'll arrive.
Not coming with? Oh yeah, duty of some sort calls.
Some sort. Her Grace bestowed a great honor on me, even before we departed for Venice. I'm to play the hare during this year's game in the palace gardens. When you see me in my costume, you will wet yourself laughing.
A little tempted to ask a few questions, but it sounds like a long, complicated story. One involving lengthy digressions into local history and tradition. So, see you later, Milton, and good luck.
Oh, goodness, finally. Yeah, kind of fast forward that just a little bit, sped up the video. Okay, so one thing you want to do, especially when you first start this DLC, okay, guys? You need to do two things. The first two things you need to do before you start any Witcher contracts is you need to, first off, you need to upgrade your mutagen capabilities. And then you also need to upgrade your gear. Now, that being said, you can not do that, but I'll tell you right now, it's you're going to have a real difficult time because everything in this particular world is extremely tough. It's like Skellige times 3, you know. All the monsters are 34 level or higher, and it's just, it'll make your life a lot easier. So, and I'll explain to you as we go through this what's going on.
Must still be here. Busted ribs, blood from the ears. Took a solid 8. Throat torn open by man-like jaws. Man-like, except for long fangs.
Okay, I'm going to have to skip through some of this because there is some brief nudity that is shown on the game, so can't show everything because of YouTube guidelines. And also, you know, it's just not appropriate to put out for everybody. So I'm going to skip through some of it. You won't see the whole dialogue for the conversation that you're going to have here. All that's going to happen is I'm just going to have some dialogue with the Bruxa.
Bare feet. Lead deeper into the cellar.
And then we're going to get into a fight. So that's about it.
Stinks. Waterlogged. Both hands amputated. Body was quartered just as I thought. Laid in water for some time. Head swollen, and something took a few bites out of it. Something in the throat. A pouch bulging with coins. Nilfgaardian florins from several different provinces. If the murderer did this, means we're dealing with a sentient thinking beast. Body was chopped up after death. Blows struck with great force, but bones sliced through, not crushed. Creature that killed him had long claws, sharp as a witch's blade. First sank its claws into the victim's heart. No Bruxa did this. Third hand, a spare. Except it's clearly not the victim's. Guardsmen must have not noticed it if they picked everything up. How's this possible? Still warm, blood still flowing. Several monster species can regenerate. Never heard of that happening to their severed limbs, though. Or their limbs seeming completely alive after so much time. Examine the tissue more closely later. Might learn something. So, murderer was clearly a monster, but not a Bruxa. But then why'd the Bruxa come here for the severed hand? And who does the hand belong to? Why the hell's it still warm? Now, how it shoved down the victim's throat. What's the significance? Why was he chopped up into pieces? Lots of questions, no answers so far. Need to know about the other victims. I'll ask Pomeroy to get me in to see the Duchess.
Okay, so in order to start the quest to find the new mutagen or the new mutations for Geralt, you need to finish the quest Blood Run first, and we're gonna go do that right now. But that you have to do that first, and then what'll end up happening is, and I'll show you in this video also. And also, I have vampire blood in my, black blood in my system. That's why everything seems so bright. For everybody who's like, what's wrong with the picture? See, there it goes. But anyway, so yeah, what'll happen is you'll do the Blood Run quest, and can't go that way. And then you'll get to do the mutagen, find the enhancements for Geralt, and what will happen is a little boy, you'll literally just walk into the city, and this little kid's going to be like, sir, here's a piece of paper. And it's a letter from Yennefer Triss.
To the Duchess, urgently.
All right, you scamps. Story's done. Go find your parents.
But the Tamarin, what about the story of Ritik and the dragon?
Our tales for another time. But take a good look at the man who stands before you now. This is Geralt of Rivia, the master witcher who lent his valiant hand to the defeat of the giant Goliath.
Master Witcher, is it true what you always trumps villainy?
Not always. It go either way. Sometimes virtue wins, sometimes villainy gets the upper hand. Still worth being good.
But why? If it doesn't mean you'll win.
Pomeran's story. Think back. A decent man attracts other good folk, makes friends he can count on. A rogue? Well, he can only count on other rogues. And who would you rather have for a friend?
A man of virtue?
I must agree. Now, that will do for questions. Go find your parents. Our Knight and Highness has doubtless arrived at the tourney grounds to watch the battle in the arena. If we hurry, we'll be in time to speak with her before the spectacle begins.
Lead the way. Who's fighting? Nilfgaardian gladiators?
Of course, after that, as we'll soon see.
Someone's gonna fight a Shelmar. Some elves on its tail to confuse it, to slow it down.
Whatever is the problem? The beast is a gift from the Emperor, yes.
Isn't dangerous. Elves on its tail aren't enough.
I saw the festival of the sword of the arena in London. There, enough to the Shelmar with bells on its tail.
Might have gotten lucky. Shelmar might have been me.
Once again, guys, I'm sorry about all this dialogue. I mean, it gets better. It's not all like this. It's just, at first, there's just a lot of dialogue you have to go through, so sorry.
Let's go.
I dedicate my imminent victory to fair Lady Vivian.
It's begun. The fight shall have to end first. We must wait.
Got a bad feeling about this. Damn it. We have to help him.
Onward!
Gotta keep it down. Until nobody hears us.
Alas, for nightly, let me speed its power, let loose the roar, and knock it to earth. And down came the Witcher in one mighty bound. It fights to the beast. Its brains are bound. The fate of the beast has been made by the gods.
Lost
Geralt of Rivia, master of the witchering trade. Behold, as the last gasps of life seep from the beast.
Master Geralt, do what you must. Finish the deed!
It suffered enough.
The monster has slain! The fight is done! Praised be the victors!
Guillaume,
The lad's too damn close to die. Fine. Not hurt at all. Vivian? Smile as befits a hero and keep silent. Speech clearly pains you. She approaches. Geralt, we must talk. Vivian.
You shall talk later, in the medic's tent.
Geralt, magnificent, breathtaking.
Your Grace.
We knew that to summon you was a brilliant idea. We are delighted, ravished to have struck upon it.
And I'm truly, honored.
See to our young hero. Hop, for we must make off with Geralt. We should talk. We had been long awaiting your arrival, had nearly lost hope. Then suddenly, that entrance, so spectacular.
Your Grace, my contract. I'd like to discuss it.
Naturally, but not here. We shall meet Damien. He led the investigation pending your arrival. But wherever could he be? Come, we must find him.
Okay, so I cut out all that dialogue because it seriously was over 3 minutes of dialogue. All you're doing is discussing the victims with the Empress and her, I guess, general, the main dude who's in charge of what's going on with all the murders. But yeah, all you're doing is talking about that. You'll get a lot of experience points here in the first probably hour and a half of the game. So that's also a nice little perk. And it's really important that you do this. Do not, I probably should have said this earlier, don't upgrade yourself yet. Save your upgrade points for when you become more enhanced, because you will be able to enhance yourself with the mutagen upgrade. So, and you need 2 points to upgrade. So, just a FYI.
We must go to where the game is being held. The participants must find unicorn's horn, a golden fish, and a phoenix egg. With these in hand, they can deduce where the hen, milk, hides.
We need to find those things too.
We've no other option, but time is of the essence, so we shall have to break the rules.
Someone got up on the wrong side.
In second point, through here. I shall show you where the hunt plays out. Then we will split up. You will get hold of the unicorn horn and the golden fish.
Golden fin.
Please. Look there.
The unicorn.
Service. The golden fish. All clear? Then let's go.
Fiorano of the 1290 vintage. I do encourage you to try.
Still.
Unicorns are thought to make music.
But this is no true unicorn.
If one were to be straight, courageous, or coward, what other marvelous things would one have in mind, if not that which fights and goes to war on the state's behalf?
No one would ever think of it.
Stay calm. Shh. Easy now.
Well, that's... Flagrant cheating is what it is!
Sirs, we must teach this scamp some proper sportsmanship.
Listen, I didn't break any rules.
True, he won fair and square.
We were unlucky, that's all.
We must try to grab the next clue.
Gardens are huge. You'd better off on horseback.
Unworthy. Entirely inappropriate behavior. A complete collapse.
Okay, we talked about enhancing yourself with mutagen enhancements. The second thing you want to do is you want to enhance all of your gear. Now, that being said, understand this is going to be an extremely expensive task to get all of your gear to Grand Master status. And I'm talking like it's going to cost you, and if you don't have all the materials, it's going to cost you a few thousand to buy everything. If you even are able, if the blacksmith even has all of the materials. And on top of that, the plate armor for at least the bear, the Grandmaster bear armor, is going to cost almost 5,000
Do something.
Do what exactly?
just build. That's not including the materials. So just keep that in mind. If you have a lot of stuff to sell, I would sell it.
Please, Your Grace.
We do not please. We act out of the highest necessity, or shall be explained later.
But it's against the rules.
I am the rules.
One of the things you'll notice first off is how proper and nice and etiquette that they put on in Tucson, the people and the civilians. But if you really look at how they act, I mean, they're
like a mouse,
just as brutal and animalistic as the people from, you know, Nilfgaard, the north, from Skellige. Like they're all still human.
Mouse with the head of hard cheese. Greenhouse.
You're a genius. Several greenhouses in the gardens, indeed, but only one works, the key to which looks just like the one we found.
Let's go. Wait here.
Real quick, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who subscribed to the channel. If you would, please, if you haven't done so, subscribe and leave a thumbs up on this video. These videos are really not... They're not difficult, but they're not easy to edit. So hopefully I'm doing a good enough job for you guys. This next few scenes really just shows how outmatched Geralt really is in reference to like higher vampires. He is seriously just not anywhere close to the same level.
I'm here.
This belonged to you, maybe?
It did, but you may keep it. I've a new one. I do not know you. I've done you no harm. Yet first you butchered a Bruxa who was dear to me. Now you pursue me. Why?
You've killed 4 innocent people, at least.
And you? How many innocents have you cut down?
Not here to talk about me.
Yes, that is exactly what we are doing. So, did they send you after me? Who are they?
What do you mean, they? Duchess hired me. You've been murdering her subjects.
Is it as simple as that? I would ask you to convey to the Duchess that I have one victim left, but you'll not get the chance.
Kill again.
One last thing, I do actually enhance my blade with oil and put my bombs in. I just don't show that because it just takes so much time.
You ought to stay where you are. Return. I know you're in trouble. I can help. I'll help myself. No, he's my friend.
Yes, Geralt, it's me.
Regis, you all right?
All is well. All's in order. Wounds such as these heal on vampires in moments. But we've not seen one another in ages, my friend. At least in human terms, that is.
How's this even possible? Last I saw you...
I was a bubbling, shapeless smear, having been rather spectacularly melted into a column of a sand castle. In somewhat better shape now, as you can see. Hardly peak form, mind you, but were I human, folk would think me a demigod, I dare say.
I'm sorry. What happened? It was my fault. Never got a chance to apologize.
No need, Geralt. Bygones. I did not have to join you on that expedition. No one twisted my arm.
Local serial killer seems to obey you. Maybe you could talk him out of it, convince him to stop murdering.
Why do you think I come? It shall not be easy, as Dettlaff can be rather stubborn. Though you must certainly recall that neither do I surrender readily.
So that's his name. He's your friend?
You might call it that. Though Dettlaff is, how would you humans put it, more bestial than I am. But not to worry, I'm working on him.
Haven't exactly done a great job with that. He's killed one knight since I got here, at least 3 others before I arrived.
For good reason, I'm sure. Understand, Dettlaff is not some decadent shit who kills for sport, or to assuage a dryness of throat or a dullness of mood.
So in your opinion, what are his reasons? Got a lot of faith in the guy.
Despite appearances to the contrary, you two are quite alike. You've both noble hearts, yet you both are wont to perform ignoble deeds. When circumstances force you to, of course. Remember the year 964?
That was 3 centuries ago.
Blind fear gripped Rivia, Lyria, and Spala. Women and children were dying. Their mutilated, dismembered corpses littered the fields.
Brute of Lyria. Read about it. Chewed up almost 200, then fell to a common poacher supposedly armed with a dagger blessed by some prophet.
It fell to Dettlaff, who then found a poacher asleep in the brush near his snares and dropped the fiend's corpse at his feet. And thus, a legend was born.
Awfully good of him. But do I need to know this?
Yes. So you understand Dettlaff is no cold-blooded killer. I believe he's landed in some mess and he sees no way out.
What makes you say that?
Vilgefortz melted my body. Dettlaff found what was left. As per our codex, he had a choice. To leave me where I was, or to care for me and nurture my remains. He chose the
Probably same thing it means to a human. You owe him your life.
Much more than that. The act itself made us blood brethren. A bond so strong humans cannot even imagine. Which is why I know something ill is afoot.
Always had an overdeveloped sense of empathy.
Each vampire has their unique talent. One they hone over centuries. It's precisely what renders us so difficult to classify. Dettlaff's trump card is his herd instinct. His tribal propensity. In point of fact, he prefers the company of lesser vampires and shuns that of humans. If he walks among you, killing egregiously, it can only mean something's upset him immensely.
Gotta find him, before something upsets him even more, and all Beauclair is awash with blood.
Well,
Not entirely. I mean, when I find him, you know.
I know you've a contract on his head. Yet your true task is to stop the beast killing, not necessarily to kill the beast, am I right?
All in all, sure.
Let us find him. By the time we do, I hope I'll have convinced you Dettlaff is no monster.
Fine, all right already. But for now, evidence is stacking up against him.
Hear that?
The posse. Knights must have tracked me here.
I prefer they don't find me here. I've makeshift quarters at Mère Lachaise Long Cemetery. We'll meet there.
See you.
Sir, we flew here as fast as our courses would carry us. Yet I fear we're late on the scene. Pray, where is the beast?
Still investigating. About to inspect this site. Withdraw your men before they trample all over the evidence.
Sirs, we must let the Witcher do his work. Milton's murder cannot go unavenged.
All right, that is pretty much all we're going to go through today. Going to show you guys one last thing before we stop. I'm going to show you how to start the quest to where you can enhance your mutagens and enhance Geralt's capabilities, fighting and all that, vitality and his sign intensity. So all you're going to do is just come up here, and there it is.
Sir.
Letter? Who from?
Can't rightly say, sir. I was just to deliver it.
Here. And thanks.
No, sir. Thank you. And I truly hope I'll be of service again.
My dear Geralt.
I hope all is well. I imagine.
Yeah, that's right. Triss is my girl because Yennefer is
time.
unbearable.
Oh, Geralt, I wish I knew for certain. Whatever is keeping you busy, perhaps you'll need a break. For those moments, I offer you this intriguing little mystery I happened on in an old manuscript I bought off a merchant from Nazaire. The tome's author claims a certain Professor Moreau once called Beauclair home, and this professor conducted research into Witcher mutations. I don't know much else, but I suspect that alone might pique your interest. The tome mentioned a journal interred with the scholar when he passed. It could very well lead you to his laboratory. I'm enclosing a map I found folded in the tome. It's smudged in a few places, but I hope it proves useful anyway. Please be careful and come back to me quickly. Your Triss.
All right, guys, that's it for part 2 of Blood and Wine playthrough. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe. See you guys next time.